I watched pretty much every single one of Caitlin's games early on because I am a fan. I do like good basketball. And of course, I wanted to see how she would do.
We are witnessing a major crisis in the WNBA, a story that is forcing everyone to speak out, from fans to players and experts. Sue Bird, one of the most influential figures in the league, has just exposed a serious issue concerning the credibility and leadership of the WNBA under Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's management. So, what has caused this discontent?
I just don't. And it actually, we talked about this before, like the fan that went hard at Caitlin at the Connecticut Sun game in game 1 or 2, I can't remember, where there was an interaction where the fan almost got ejected. It's like, none of this is okay. And we never accept it. We never accept this on the men's side. Why is it okay in our league? Why is it, welcome to mainstream sports?
We will explore how Bird's revelations and WNBA leadership decisions have exposed weaknesses within the league's structure. Why was Clark, who captivated viewers and boosted audience numbers, treated in a way that outraged fans? What role did Commissioner Engelbert play in this? Stay tuned as we break it down right after this.
We do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion and music. Like the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry.
Recent comments by WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert have sparked a fierce debate among fans and analysts. Appearing on CNBC's Power Lunch, she emphasized that rivalries are essential for boosting the visibility of the sport. However, her focus on competition angered many, as it seemed tone-deaf in light of the criticism players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have faced.
One white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. It's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players. Much more so than they were 5 years ago.
The criticism went beyond Engelbert's comments, delving into deeper issues. Megan Rapinoe criticized the commissioner for focusing on rivalries instead of prioritizing player safety and well-being. She argued that Engelbert failed to protect players from harmful and racist remarks, a critique that resonated strongly with fans.
We knew it was coming. This wasn't a surprise. And not just the comments that the commissioner made a few weeks ago, where she basically implied that the racial tension is good for business and invoking Magic and Bird. It's not good for business. It's never good for business. And sort of sidestep the question about racism and misogyny and hate that the players are receiving online, basically saying don't go on social media or, it's sort of not real.
Engelbert apologized for not being clearer about the harm of hateful speech, but many players and fans felt her response was insufficient. Analysts criticized her marketing-focused leadership, which neglected practical policies and eroded trust, revealing a growing disconnect between the league's leadership and its core responsibilities.
Obviously, not every, they're humans, looking at technology. Basketball is a little more complex than tennis, for instance, around technology of officiating. So we're looking at a variety of different dimensions.
The WNBA is facing a major challenge right now. Caitlin Clark has drawn massive viewership and energy from the fan community, yet Engelbert's approach risks completely undermining that momentum. Both fans and players are questioning whether this leadership is sustainable. Will focusing on rivalries distract from addressing the core issues? How do these decisions impact key players like Clark? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Coming out of college and going into the WNBA, we as WNBA players were having basketball conversations. And everybody just took it to another place where we were attacking them as people. And that's, again, where that petty and jealousy live.
Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe criticized WNBA leadership, pointing out a disconnect between officials and players. Bird stressed that Engelbert should focus on protecting players from racial attacks rather than prioritizing competition. The tense environment has made players feel threatened, and fans are wrongly blamed.
there is one thing I want to reset, that we want to reset, and it's the language being used around fans. Fever fans, Caitlin fans, new fans. That actually has to go. That has to go. I understand why at times it's been used. It's kind of just when you're in an interview and you get asked a question, it's kind of easy to go, oh, the Fever fan base.
Yeah,
what
do you mean by that?
fans.
That has to go.
Oh, these new fans. It has to go because it's not the Fever fans. It's not Caitlin fans.
Rapinoe agreed with Bird, criticizing the WNBA for failing to protect players from negativity. They pointed out that leadership's focus on public relations instead of real action deepened fan divisions. Both called for a shift in priorities, urging the league to focus on player protection and sustainable growth.
From the WNBA's perspective, the WNBA and the league office and Kathy's role specifically is basically to protect and shepherd the league, both from a business perspective, from a player welfare perspective, from a health and safety perspective, and from a growth and investment perspective. And this is where I feel like she's failed.
Bird and Rapinoe highlighted the unsustainable pressure on players, who are not only expected to perform at the highest level, but also protect themselves from online and real-world attacks while promoting the sport. Bird believes this is eroding trust in the WNBA community. The question remains, will the league listen to these calls for change, or continue down a path that could damage its credibility and growth?
I did not come out of college with the same level of popularity, scrutiny, all of it. Nobody has. Caitlin is one of one. There's zero doubt about that.
Caitlin Clark's debut season was historic, with record-breaking performances and game-winning shots that energized fans and boosted ticket sales, TV ratings, and merchandise revenue. However, the league's response to her impact was surprisingly muted.
Caitlin continuing to impress and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record break.
WNBA leadership's failure to embrace Caitlin Clark's success highlighted deeper issues within the league. Instead of capitalizing on her historic season to engage new fans, the leadership remained hesitant, even offering a muted acknowledgement of her Rookie of the Year award, leaving supporters and analysts puzzled.
They decided that they were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this up.
The lack of recognition for Clark wasn't just an oversight. It revealed a disconnect in leadership's ability to harness the power of its stars. If a player like Clark, who brought unmatched excitement, wasn't fully celebrated, what did that mean for the league's future?
Higher television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that from day one and maximized it, but you didn't do it.
The WNBA faced high stakes during Clark's breakout season, which offered a major opportunity for both her and the league. However, leadership's hesitation sent a damaging message. Beyond marketing mistakes, issues like inconsistent officiating and player safety led to frustration. Clark's first season exposed these flaws, notably when she received a technical foul for an interaction with the ring post.
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball.
But is this rule applied consistently? Diana Taurasi did the same thing, yet Clark was penalized. This inconsistency has raised questions about fairness in how the league enforces its rules.
Carter nearly picks off the pass, and Diana Taurasi, they'll count the bucket. And Antoine coming up for DT.
Why was there no foul on Taurasi? All season long, players like Clark faced baffling inconsistencies from referees, turning games into a mess of confusion. Fans were left frustrated, and the integrity of the game was called into question. When the league can't ensure fair play and player safety, it shakes the trust of everyone, players and fans alike, making you wonder, can the WNBA ever truly grow if it can't get these basics right?
So now it's the responsibility of the players to not only go play the damn game and to be great and to give everything that you know it takes, mind, body, soul, to be the best player that you possibly can. Now it's on them to ensure their own health and safety, their own player wellness, their own safe workplace, whether that is online, in stadiums, or otherwise. And I don't think that that's fair.
Clark's breakout season brought the WNBA unprecedented attention, but leadership's failure to align with player advocacy threatens the league's momentum. If Engelbert and her team don't adjust, they risk losing Clark's impact and alienating fans. This is a critical test for the league's future. The stakes are higher than ever.
It elevated television ratings, it elevated attendance, and it damn sure elevated franchise value. But now, something that y'all resisted talking about, opining about, acknowledging.
The WNBA stands at a crucial crossroads, with Caitlin Clark's standout season revealing both immense potential and significant leadership challenges. From inconsistent officiating to concerns about player safety, the league's next steps will shape its future. Can they turn this around? Stay tuned.